Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Hello! Oh, I don't have a face. What have I done wrong? Oh, there we go. Hey! Fixed it! Oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, we're back once again. We are doing more streamy doos and making more artworks. I'll just move this over here. Sorry, Tia. Scaring the puppy. There we go, a little bit more light so we can see some things. This camera is not doing these justice. There we go. So these are the ones we did yesterday. Sans that one. This was just an example. Ooh. Camera. There we go. So yesterday we did our eight-legged deer, reindeer friend, and then we did a close-up deer, and then we did a continuation of our bottled adventure pieces. So the plan today was to do a series more of these bottled ones because they were turning out pretty well, and I don't actually mind this today now that I've taken time to walk away from it and come back to it, but it is very messy. So we might redo this at some point. But we're going to do some more of these, so I'll leave these two up here, I think, just so we get a sense of it. and then we're going to continue on. So once again, I have a series of reference photos that I'm going to work off, and we'll do a couple of artworks. I think maybe we'll get 3 done, 4 done before the end of the stream, and then we'll raid into someone else. So, where shall we start? Which one shall we start with? Actually, we should probably start with our bottle first. We'll set up our lovely bottle and then we'll work from there.
No, the article.
We do have Lizzie Bell in the background.
Hello.
She's currently doing some research for friends.
I'm trying to talk to them via text so that I'm not
You can talk.
constantly taking up the background.
You can talk in the background if you want. I think there's only one person watching at the moment. I have a feeling it's probably you.
I know, I haven't opened it yet.
Oh.
Will do. Got someone else.
Thank you, stream friend. And if you're watching this on the VOD, feel free to let us know how we're going. You can either PM me or the About Me section, or you can jump onto the Discord, which looks like this. My Instagram is down in my About Me. I'm not going to put it up right now because none of the stuff that we're doing at the moment is going up on there. Just because I'm going to be giving some of these away and selling some of these. Oh, bees!
You know what happened in the middle there?
What did happen in the middle there? Let's do a little bee swarm spam for Lizzie Bell. Buzz. Yeah, so I won't be putting these up online just yet. Did I bugger that? Ever so slightly. That's right. Fix this. Just bring that down a little. There we go. Yeah, I won't be putting them on social media or things like that, just for a little bit, because these are going to be for Christmas presents for people, and then for sale. So they will be going up into the Etsy store once I've cleaned them up a little and make some high quality prints for you guys, and then sort of after the Christmas period or around Christmas, I'll do a post dump of all of them. I'm not sure if I'll watermark them, but maybe. We'll see. What do I want to do with this? I think I want to do like a little cylindrical one.
There's even worse ones.
So the idea I want to do here is have like 2 different ones. Have a tall, thin one at the front, and then a slightly bigger, shorter one at the back. Chunky. So that would come around there, and then pop back up around here. I mean, I probably could have just used this side as reference. There we go. And then maybe a slightly longer neck in here than some of the other ones we've had. There you go, that looks pretty good. Why's my arm sore? I haven't done anything with it.
Were you restraining the daughter a lot at the vet today?
Possibly. We took... By we, I mean I took...
I was at work.
Lizzie Bell was at work. I took the daughter to the vet today. Our fluffy daughter. So that she could get her vaccinations. She's a rescue puppy. And she's about to go and meet a new family puppy. That my mum is picking up. Or has already gotten, actually. But they haven't had their vaccines yet, so we need to make sure that Tia is fully vaccinated so that she's not a risk to the puppy. And because she's a rescue, we couldn't guarantee that she'd had them. Now, we were told that she had, but there was no sort of guarantee within that. It was just sort of a general, oh yeah, it's, you know, she's had a vaccination, she's been desexed, blah, blah, blah. So we got a desexing certificate, but we never got a certificate for any of the vaccinations, which made me a little suspicious. But I have a feeling it's just that they didn't have the certificates from when she was younger, which, you know, happens. That's not a lot of people keep those sorts of things. Because why would you? Unless you're sort of anal retentive like us and have an important documents tin that you keep all your stuff in. Which makes a whole bunch of sense to me, but apparently not as much to some other people, so... Alright, what are we going to do with this? Love this playlist so much. It makes me so happy. Makes me unreasonably happy. I hope everybody else enjoys it, because I do just sort of play it on repeat. If anybody would like to hear something in particular for music choices in future, please do let me know. I can swap over to something else. Because I have access to Epidemic Sounds, which is what we're playing at the moment. I'm currently playing them through Spotify. Not sponsored by either, but Spotify is pretty good. I like Spotify. And we're enjoying Epidemic Sound stuff. Or at least I am. Now, how do I want to do this? I think I want to do the tags again on this one. Put down here. Like that. And then this one will have a label on it, I think. Let's go from I think we have one up here. Yeah. That's looking pretty good. And then I wanted to do like a little soft label down here. Like this were a, I don't know, a wine bottle or a spirits bottle. We will be making our own wines very shortly. I need to finish making my game, which is my next numerous order challenge, and then after that we're moving on to wine making, to alcohol brewing, which is wonderful, perfectly legal in our country and state, as long as it is for personal consumption. So yeah, good terms. So what do I want as my two things in here? We need one that's quite tall and thin, and we need one that's, doesn't matter I guess, but a little bit more banded. This camera would focus in a little more. I'm gonna try and mess with the
Did you know
Did I know?
that Facebook got rid of their notes section last year and nobody noticed?
They had a notes section?
Yeah, you can post like long blog posty type things. Or like long things.
Long form content.
Yeah.
Didn't even know.
They've had that for like, at least since I was in year 12, because I used it and that's what I'm trying to find. And I cannot find how to access it.
Not a
The
clue.
internet claims that you can still access it, but I can't figure out where.
Curiouser and curiouser, my love. Is there a way I can like dial this in?
Oh, found it.
26. Oh, I have to do it via this. That's stupid. 26, 20. No. Okay, so it goes from 27 to 29. And I actually think 28 would be the ideal. Ah. Okay, fair enough. And then I can zoom it in and show you. I'll have to remember to turn autofocus back on, because otherwise I'm going to ruin myself with that one. Alright, so we need to pick what we're going to do. I'm going to chuck you guys over here just for a hot minute while I pick. I can probably show you guys this, can't I? Let's make a copy of this. Duplicate. We're going to call it screen cap. Screen cap is going to have a a screen capture as opposed to, no, not a screen capture. Window capture? No. Screen capture. Yes. All right. So these are the options we have here. So I've got these sets of options in terms of things we might want to do today. So most of these are not my photos, they are not my artworks, but these are just providing a source of inspiration. So I think we do, I think we potentially do the stream, as in this running stream here, or we do maybe this kind of like mountain range in the left-hand bottle, the sort of tall, skinny bottle. And then maybe we do the beach or the brook in the sort of squat bottle, the one that's a little short and fat. So let's go back to art. Here we are. So those are sort of our options. Do I want to do this sort of mountain rangey with a stream? Nighttime? Do I want to do... what was the other one I said? Was it the beach? Did I say do the beach? I think the beach works better as a single piece because we can get more detail into it. So maybe we go with the brook and then that mountain pass with a river. Yeah, and then we do one of them be nighttime and one of them be daytime. Okay, cool. So we have an approximate idea of what we're doing. I'll chuck us back over here and let's see if we can just rough out some designs. So we want... I'm just going to bring this image back up actually. Just so I can get a rough idea of my perspective and proportion. So if we want the mountain ranges, we want them to be here, approximately. If we're doing a second mountain range, we come maybe down from this side, there to there to there. And then we want forest this side, forest this side, coming up to here. That's our sort of 2-point perspective. And then we have our soft river in here, because we don't want it to be too expensive. Cool. I know you guys can't see that very well, but I've just done a series of dots here. So we have these top two are the peaks of our mountain range, there and there. Then we have a sloping mountain range on the other side. These sets of dots on this side here are for one side of the forested area. The other side is sort of where the shadow of my hand is, but like there's a series of dots there and then a series of dots here. And then we've got this kind of winding river design there. As I start drawing it in, you'll be able to see more of the detail, but that's how I do my guidelines, basically. More like guidelines than actual rules. Oh, whoop, whoop. What's flipping me? Hey, we have brewing supplies incoming.
Hey.
Which is exciting. So I'll bring this up so you can actually see that. Let's just move these to one side so you can actually focus on what we're doing. Pro streamer or something. So we're just very, very briefly roughing in our design. Doesn't have to look perfect right now. But the idea being this is approximately where we want things to be on this side. This is approximately where we want things to be on this side. And then we've got this kind of like drop-off shelf here. And then we want the river here. So the two bottles are going to contrast pretty heavily to each other. One being significantly darker than the other.
Oh my god.
Lizzie Bell there, doing detective work. So we're do a series of rocks because this is kind of like a dry, semi-dry creek bed. And then we have mountain ranges in the back. I'll put a couple more in here just to fill it out a little. So I'm just going in and putting in the... I wish this camera would focus a little better. So we're putting in our detail here of our... I'm going to turn the autofocus back on. I don't think this is any better. Has that made it worse? Hey!
Good? I'm good? Still good?
There we go, that's a little better. It's trying, it's trying. Ish. Anyway, we're putting some greater detail in here. And trying to basically fill out these like trees in here. So this back one is going to be pretty tree heavy as well. And then we've got this mountain range which we want to color a little darker on one side. Same with these ones in the back. And then what we're going to do is this whole sort of back sky section here is also going to be... I'm going to see if I can try and Milky Way the middle here a little. And then basically just fill this back in with dark shadow. Alright, let's see how that goes. And then we'll make a decision about the second bottle once we get there. We'll start at the front here. We're just using a brush with a little bit of water in. So this is we've got watercolor paper. It's 300 GSM watercolor paper, which is like quite thick cardstock, which I really like. I'm enjoying using. And then it's just a basic like art line. Felt tip ink, standard ink, and then using Hey, Carrie, how you doing, Max? Been a little bit. How you been? Keeping busy? It has been too long. It has been way too long. Missing us? Yeah. Christmas period's always crazy. It's hard to catch up with things. You've been streaming, talking to Mariah. Very nice, very nice. I gotta catch your streams one time. Because I have still not yet seen one of your streams. It's making me making me feel bad. I haven't done it. But I think we're online at awkward times. What times do you usually stream? So I can, you have no camera. You do some funny shit. Getting in the party chat so people can hear you. Yeah, you should absolutely do that. You should set yourself up a camera as well, man. People want to see that face of yours. Or you could put on one of those, like, digital avatar type things. If you're not feeling the, exposing yourself route. Anytime before 8 PM, but after 7 AM. Okay. So I just have to be around and be lucky, I think. We'll give it a look. I'll see if I can find you. I'll see if I can find you online at some point, and we'll catch up. Tell Mariah about us. So, getting serious. Flying out on the 3rd to visit her. That's cool, man. Good luck. Hope it all goes well. 3rd of December or 3rd of... I guess January would be the next? I know what months are like. Oh, this fucking camera. Alright. I'm gonna fix it again. Put it to 27. Oh, I can digitally zoom in. That's not what we want. Pantin. Nope, we don't want low life compensation. Now I'm just fucking with things. Try and get it to Sharpness. Turn the sharpness up. Well, that helps a little. White balance. Oh god, no, we don't want to play with that. Turn gain down. Put it mid-range. Okay, that kind of worked a little. She games 2 in December. Cool. Just checking. Hey, I don't know, man. You know. What was the Unicember? The one that was supposed to be coming at the end of 2020? Give it the business. Yeah, have you not heard of Unicember? It's what comes after December, when the year's not finished. She's busy or lazy. And she could be busy. Don't force her. High-Sember. No, High-Sember is when you spend the whole of December baked out of your face. That's High-Sember. And honestly, after the year that it's been, some people might need that. That's you? Fair. How's work going, man? Are you enjoying your... You got a promotion, right? Last time we talked? I vaguely remember that. You got a what? Didn't you get a promotion? I'm sure you got a promotion. You got a something. You were saying your boss was happy with you and they pumped your hours or something. Yeah, promotion. Okay, cool. See, I was right. I'm not talking out my ass. I know things. Oh, you didn't hear what I said. Fair enough. Not enunciating correctly. I've lost my British roots. Too Australian. Probation. Oh shit. No. We don't want you to have probation. That would be bad times. Also, that'd be some bullshit. Because you're clearly the hardest working one there, so why you would end up on probation escapes me entirely. No one's gonna tell you. Yeah. Your boss contacted me, and told me to let you know that you'd be on probation for the rest of the year. Don't know why they wanted me to tell you. Hey, self-care. Make sure you look after yourselves, ladies and gents. Have a drink, have something to eat. Very important. Yeah, the paycheck's just like, thank you for your conduct. Pretty sure there'd be a riot if that was the case, though. Lose their fucking minds. Hey, Brizzy girl, how you doing? We are doing some art. Oh, I'm out of drink. Alright, this second bottle we wanted to do the beach one, I think. I'm gonna chuck it onto the other screen just so I'm not missing all this. You're good? I know, it's been a while. How you been? Just try and make our horizon straight. Unlike us. Funny. Or at least I like to think I'm funny.
That wasn't my funny.
That was your funny, it was. Stealing your funnies. Stealing Lizzie Bell's funnies. I'm always doing that though.
You really are.
She gives me shit for it all the time.
It's because I say it to you and not to everyone else.
Yeah. Well, that's it. You need to say it to everybody else more often. All right. There's our little horizon line. So is everybody excited for the Christmas period, or are we all dreading it? If so, why? What awesome things or terrible things are happening? Bah humbug, that's it. You're gonna be visited by a series of ghosts, and they're gonna try and teach you some shit. It's just gonna be a really long night, really boring. Imagine if that happened every Christmas Eve. I'm looking forward to having public holiday off for the first time in your whole career! Oh, amazing, Lizzie Bell.
Hey.
Which is good, because that means you can actually come to Christmas for once. Everybody acts nice during the holidays, but once it's over, they act like a bitch. The rest of it... yeah, they should just be nice all the time. Yeah, I have a particular issue. I have a particular pet peeve around people who are fake nice, who are nice sometimes and then bitchy behind your back. That is a particular issue of mine, and it has been for a very long time. I used to chew people out in school all the time because they would be sort of nice-ish to certain people's faces and then be very catty and shitty behind their backs, and then try and like call you out for if you weren't nice, like directly to their face. And I'm like, no, I will be just as shitty behind your back as I am to your face, but you know at least that I am being genuine to you. If I like you, I like you and I'll be nice to you. If I don't like you, then I'm not going to be nice to you. But I'm not going to pretend to be nice to you just to your face for no reason. and then go out of my way to be an arsehole behind your back. That's not who I am, and it's, you know, it's kind of shitty when people do that. So I totally get that. I get the frustration there, Max. Yeah, there was one in particular. So we had this kid at school who was on the larger side, and he was a bit annoying. I'll give people that. He was really into American wrestling, like WWE and stuff, to the point of like trying to wear memorabilia to school. We have uniforms at school, so you can't just wear whatever you want. I mean, all schools in Australia have uniforms.
Yeah, but like some schools enforce them a lot more.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I wore jeans.
Yeah, fair.
For all of my senior years when I wasn't in a school skirt.
Fair.
Did not once get called up on it.
I went to a Catholic school. They were pretty strict about what you wore. But anyway, so he was super into that, and he was a little annoying, but like, you know, gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was friends with him, ish, friendly acquaintances, and he used to get picked on and shit on constantly by this group of like jockey, very, very drug experienced kids. That's the polite way to say it. And then shortly into his, it would have been year 8, so he would have been 16 years old-ish, 15, 16 years old. No, that'd be year 9. 14, 15 years old. He ends up getting leukemia, which sucks. And you know, everybody was sort of feeling sorry for him, and rightly so. But these kids who had previously like given him the most shit are suddenly, you know, trying to be friends with him, and you know, it's sort of a thing of, yeah, they're kind of trying to do the right thing. But then they'd get shitty at people who were kind of sort of ribbing on him politely. Not like full on bullying him, but like if he'd say something, they'd be like, oh, you're going on about this again, kind of thing. Because he'd go on and on about pro wrestling. And they just kept going on about it and kept giving people shit about it. And I was like, wait a minute. Not 6 months ago, not 4 months ago, not 3 months ago, you guys were the ones basically harassing him to the point where he wanted to kill himself. And now you're turning around and trying to enforce other people be nice to him when you couldn't give him the benefit of the doubt just because you now want to do the right thing because you feel bad. So it was a frustrating double standard that they were giving. And I dislike that kind of mentality of, you know, friendly to your face and then an arsehole afterwards. All good, Max. Good luck on your phone call. Don't end up on probation. Your family tends to argue a lot, especially during the holidays, so it'll be interesting. What do they argue about, Brizzy girl? Hey, there's my Instagram. Lovely ladies and gentlefolk. These particular artworks are not going up on the Instagrams just for the moment because they're going to be turned into prints. So that I can sell them and so that I can give them away as prezzies. But all my other wonderful stuff, all the stuff from Drawtober and Tatober is up there, so go and check that out. Anything and everything. Cool. like a particularly political or social, or is it just like literally anything, like the sky's blue?
How dare you? The sky is clearly not blue.
The sky is clearly not a color. It is the atmospheric scattering of light. Science.
You silly.
I am silly. We're gonna have an interesting Christmas period, I think. Staying with both families.
Yes.
So that'll be good fun. Very different experiences in the two households. And it will be our first Christmas as a married couple.
Hey!
Your brothers and you don't like your mum's partner for various reasons, and you always manage to rub some of you the wrong way. Yeah, that's fair. That's a tough one as well. The, like, partners of family members can be a tricky one. Because trying to figure out where that line is of, like, you know, how much should I put up with because it's family, and how much should I just fucking nope out with this? We've had some problems with that in the past. My family's pretty comfortable with just speaking their mind, which I don't know if that's a good thing, but definitely gets the job done. Lizzie Bell's family is a little bit more subtle. Again, I'm not sure if that's a good thing, but at least it gets the job done for them. Your brother you grew up with never got along with you. You fought like cats and dogs since you were kids. That's a shame. Expects to be waited on hands and foot. Sits on his house watching TV. Yeah. That sounds like, unfortunately, a lot more people than you would expect it to. Which is very disappointing. Also, why is it your job to look after them? Are they not, you know, an adult that can look after themselves? Or even like a teenager or a... You'd think that they could... Anyway. Well, that one turned out pretty well, I think. Happy with that. How's this? Let's dry it a little bit. Alright, let's fix up this side a little. And then we'll maybe move on to the next artwork. Stretch. Oh, I have to stand up for stretch. And posture checked. Thank you, Zeus. Much appreciated. Your mum's in her 70s. And he's a narcissistic prick.
Oh god.
Hey, more narcissist. Oh, hello there.
Have too many of them.
She just puts up with his crap so that she doesn't rock the boat. Yeah, that's a shame. There's a lot of that in older relationships, or relationships that start aged. And this is just me speculating, but I think it sort of stems from the not wanting to be alone thing. And so they will put up with a lot more crap than they otherwise normally should have. And then it's that, you know, not rocking the boat mentality that just kind of keeps perpetuating it.
There's the whole thing of it's hard to get out of an abusive relationship once you're in it.
Well, and I was just about to say, is a lot of that stems from previous trauma. If you're in a new relationship when you're aged, it's likely that your previous relationships probably weren't that good and probably had some aspect of trauma to them, and so being able to identify and deal with new trauma as it comes up is probably quite difficult. So that's not at all to blame the person who is in the abusive situation, but it does seem to happen a lot to aged relationships, which is very sad, both for the people involved and for families who have to deal with it. I'm sorry to hear that it's not going well. Hopefully everybody's just super well behaved. It's totally gonna happen. We can dream, right? Right, guys? Right? I'm going to take that as a no, Lizzie Bell.
I am happy to approach Christmas with cautious optimism.
Cautious optimism.
It's how I approach most things in life.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm an optimistic
Cynicist? Cynic?
Cynic, that's the word. Thank you.
Cynicist?
So tired.
Wow.
I have had a very long week.
Super well behaved. That's you out, Zeus. You have had a long week, my lovely Lizzie Bell.
I'm probably going to go to bed in a minute.
You're gonna go to bed? Okay. That's fair. Totally reasonable. What's the time? It is 9:30. Alright. Well, we're probably gonna stay up for a little bit longer.
That's fine. Yeah, as long as you'd like.
I shall.
You have no requirements to be anywhere.
Sure don't. This is my work for the week.
Hey.
Unless I actually get a call from
Work.
work.
I'm going to do that tomorrow because you're not there on Friday.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll see how we go.
I am happy for you to not.
They haven't contacted me yet, so they're sort of running out of time.
Good. You can just stay home and relax.
Stay home and do work
Stay home
Housework?
and do housework.
and art.
Yeah.
That turned out really well. I'm actually really happy with this one. I think it looks a little better than our lantern one, but I am now happy with my lantern one. And that's the original. So now we've got a set of 3. I think I'm going to try and do 5, maybe 6. There we go. I've got 6 free.
I love all of these.
Yeah. So I'm going to do another one, which is just a big one like this one. I'll do one that's like a series of... I'll do it landscape and do a series of 3 small bottles. I think of very different shapes. And I don't know what I'll do for the last one. But that's where we're at so far. So we might put this one up here. And we'll get started on the next one. Oh,
Good night.
good night, my love. You're the best. Oh, actually, before you go,
Yeah.
just before you go,
What would you like?
Coke if you can. Probably shouldn't drink just in case school tries to contact me tomorrow.
You don't need to drink every night.
I don't need to drink every night, but I could. Might be an alcoholic, guys. And by might, I mean definitely
You
am.
are much better than you used to be.
I'm better than I used to be. I'm a recovering alcoholic.
There we go.
I told Mel's parents the first time I met them that I was a recovering alcoholic, and boy was Mel unhappy about that.
They were too.
Yeah, they were not happy either. And sort of rightfully so, but at the same time, like, I feel like some leniency should be given in that it's a good thing I told them. If I don't go to AA meetings, I'm fine. No, I wouldn't do AA meetings. I don't do 12-step programs.
They tend to be less good than...
Yeah, they're more harmful than they are good, I
They
think.
work for some people, definitely not for everyone.
Very specific sorts of people, and they work on the kind of culty, addictive personality mentality where you can't have any drink at all. You have to be full sobriety, and then they get you to lean into these like very specific ideas and actions, and it's not good for most people, I would think.
You've cut down your drinking to below alcoholic levels for most weeks now.
Probably, actually.
No, you have. You genuinely have. We don't drink every week, and even when we do, you don't have a huge amount.
I mean, I'm still having...
You'd have to be having 14 in a week for it to count.
Because I have average two
a day.
2 a day.
Mm.
You know, I'm not
That's
getting...
the definition of alcoholism.
And more than what in one night
I'm not sure.
for binge alcoholism? Is it 8?
Possibly.
Then I'd still be technically an alcoholic. Because when I drink, I usually have 10.
Do you really?
Again, you guys took it too far. Are we sure? Yeah, I have a double every time I have a drink.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Forget you do that.
And then I have like 5 in a night.
Yeah, okay.
So that's
Fair
10.
enough. But you don't drink every week.
I don't drink
You are
every
still
week.
a binge alcoholic.
I am still a binge alcoholic.
Which is more socially acceptable or something?
It's Australian. It's Australian!
It's Australian.
Go to bed.
Go to bed.
Get some water. Get us something.
Water's over here. That's what I wanted this whole time.
It was a punchline. If you don't go to AA meetings, you're fine. And, but then I expanded on why AA was bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We have passionate opinions about things.
we do have passionate opinions about things. If you bring something up, I'm going to discuss it. Even if you bring it up as a joke. Alright. What are we going to do for the next one? So we've got this like spirits bottle. We could do like a proper wine bottle. It's a bit thin. I don't know if I want to do like 2. What I could do, I could cut them in half. That's a bit thin though. I was gonna say I could do like a what they're called, book saver, bookmark. I could make a series of bookmarks. Don't you judge me?
I will judge you.
How dare!
I love you though.
Oh, I love you. I'm being judged by my wife. Okay. Well, let's just go with another thick bottle for now. I could do a goon bag. That is an option, actually. It would be very Australian. Goon bags are not really see-through, though. Just a plastic bag of... Very classy. Maybe I'll see if I can do a special goon bag one just for users. But not this one, I think. I think this one's gonna be so we wanna go from there to there. Short and wide, I think we're going to go. There is the Discord, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not joined up, please go and do so. It's been less common, but we do Friday night drinks. So if you're keen to do a little bit of socializing, we do a bit of that when we're around. Christmas period's going to be a little bit tough. But we're also probably going to do some fun Christmas things on the Discord. So do join up if you're keen. You're just throwing out ideas? Do all the drinking for you these days. drink you want to smoke, and those things are pricey. Yeah. I had a friend who used to go and drink, smoke cigars, and play the pokies. That was basically all he did with his weekends. Would make a little bit of money from the pokies and then lose most of it, as you are oft to do when you play the pokies. And and he told me that he was quitting drinking because it was costing him too much. And I was like, what do you mean? We drink at the cheapest, shittiest bar in Sydney. The drinks cost $3 regardless of what you have. How could you possibly be, like, costing you too much money? We drank a lot, so kind of does make sense. Even with $3 drinks, we'd end up spending hundreds of dollars in an evening. Which is concerning and speaks to my alcoholism when I was younger. But he would be like, yeah, because every time I drink, I have to smoke. I have to have a cigar. And the cigars I buy are very expensive because I've got good taste. Terrible taste in alcohol, but used to turn up with these, like, $50 Cuban cigars. And he would have one of those, like, every single time he was out. So he was spending, like, $50 every single time he was out drinking. And he'd be drinking multiple nights in a row. And then he'd, you know, inevitably lose $200 to $400 on the pokies every night as well. Not every night, but over the course of the weekend, as he was playing. And he'd win some of it back, and then he'd lose some of it, and then he'd win some of it, and he'd lose some of it. But he'd usually end up down rather than up. And he's like, I can't drink anymore because I just keep losing money. And I'm like, you don't have to smoke and you don't have to play the pokies when you drink. And he's like, no, I do. And I'm like, no, you don't. They're not linked together. While on the machine, you do get stuck more on them, and then smoking and drinking unless you're winning a lot. Yeah, exactly. When you win, you get a lot, you get up, and you get a drink, and you have a smoke. Yeah. So, this is back in the day. I think there are still smoking areas in the pokies rooms, but when they first started to bring in the, like, no smoking inside except for the gaming rooms was the big thing. Like, you could smoke in the gaming rooms, even if they were indoors, and that was the sort of the trade-off thing. You couldn't smoke anywhere that there was food, but you could smoke in the gaming rooms. And so people used to go in there and just smoke and drink and sit at the pokies. And then people got wise to it that's what, like, the bars and whatever got wise to that fact. And so then they started being like, well, if you're going to be in here, then you have to actually play. And so then they'd be like kicking people out if they weren't playing the pokies. So then people would, you know, chuck down, you know, $10 on it or whatever, and then they'd win once or twice, and then, you know, outside smoking areas. Yeah, there were outside smoking areas, but they're not as common in the city bars because there's not enough space. If you had a rooftop, if the place you're at had a rooftop, usually you could smoke at the rooftop. There'd be like a rooftop bar or a rooftop outdoor area, but most of them were like, you can smoke outside the front at the door. Or in the gaming room, but you can't take your drink outside. So the only place that you could drink and smoke at the same time was in the gaming room, or if they had an outdoor area like a beer garden or a rooftop. But in the city itself, there just isn't room for that unless you're in a very, very expensive area and a very expensive pub. You're happy to gamble all the locals than going into the city. Yeah, I'd much rather spend time at a local. Although I do enjoy my city bars. I have a few city bars that I'm quite fond of. But that's because I spent way too long there. Sydney was my old haunt. Used to go every Friday. We had like 3 or 4 bars that we were regulars at. RSL. Yeah, RSL. Have a nice feed, have a drink, a quiet drink, and just relax. Yeah, RSL's a good folk as well. There's very rarely, unless you're in a particularly dodgy area, very rarely is there like shit at an RSL. Is when you were working full time? Yeah. Well, I used to work bars as well, so that was some time ago though. Alright. So, in here we want to put... I think we're going to do this kind of lake scene thing we've got going. So I have to swap screens around. So this is the idea we're going with. Something like this. Little lanterns and things on a like a riverbed, a lake of some kind. I think we're going to continue this kind of mountainy theme thing. I'm not sure about the moon in the sky. Probably. Let's see. But that's our reference photo that we're working off as a general idea. There we go. Hey. Kaiju is still our stream boss there. Oh. Losing my pen. Alright, how do we want to do this? I think we put our horizon in first. Probably there-ish. This always reminds me of like the Matlock and jaunty 80s, 70s detective. Speaking of that inspiration, has anybody who is paying attention at the moment managed to catch the new Cowboy Bebop live action series on Netflix? because I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty good adaptation. I didn't think it was perfect. There was definitely some interesting choices in it, but I liked it. I thought it was really good. Cowboy Bebop, it's an anime series. It's very eclectic. It's basically the whole series is like a pastiche of filmic genres. So it's got like the noir, detective. Bloody French Counter-Strike team was hyping themselves up before their match. Yeah, so they have that, and then they've got these like cowboy, and then they've got the bounty hunter trope, and then they've got this kind of like post-apocalyptic sci-fi, but then sort of linking it all back to the sort of TV novella style soap opera stuff, and then they've got the mafia syndicate style thing mixed in there, and then the like very heavy sort of like casino mafia world thing juxtaposed with this kind of like detective film background, jazzy, and then yeah, it's interesting. You haven't seen it yet, you watch Bleach stuff, not Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, you should definitely watch the anime first. The anime's really good. I've watched it many times over, and it's good fun. It's all over the place, and the episodes are sort of semi-serial, semi-episodic. So there is a through line for all of the stories. They do sort of lead to an overarching arc of stories, a series of sort of arcs and side arcs. But each episode is kind of its own little self-contained thing as well, which is quite fun. And then they just play with lots of different styles of genre and medium. It's cool. I like it. Very this kind of like jazzy stuff. It's good. I really enjoyed it. And they've made a live action version, which has its problems, but I liked it. I thought it was a good adaptation. It was true enough to the series whilst still being its own story. There were quite a lot of people who were like, "Oh, this isn't the story of the anime. Like, why is it different?" But I think that was an intentional decision to actually make it different to the original, so that it wasn't just a retelling, but rather its own story. But it's still similar enough that you get the same beats. There is one bit in it that I didn't think was done very well, but other than that, it was good. But yeah, check it out for sure. I've never finished Bleach, actually, now that you mention it. I got up to... where did I get up to? I got up to... forgotten his name now. It's been so long since I've seen it. The main character, bleached hair guy, named after him, obviously, saves Rukia, the Reaper girl, from being executed. And then, is it after that that the doll, the spirit doll people? You watch Bleach, the live action one, but not the anime. A lot of gamers you knew, and a few clans would talk about it, right? Fair enough. You were really into it. Pokemon was your extreme? Yeah. I mean, Pokemon is extreme. Gotta, put that out there. I've always been a Pokemon fan. Yeah, I always struggle to finish the really long series. So like I've watched a fair bit of Naruto but never finished that. I've watched a tiny bit of One Piece but never finished that. What else? What else is a really long running series that I've watched a bit of? But like if anything is more than 30 or 40 episodes long, and isn't really split up into like seasons, then there's no hope in me staying to watch it, because that's too much for me, too much effort for me. And it's tough because I want to stick it out, but like my concentration, I can't stick that out for that long. Don't know how other people do it. Your life went to shit a few years ago. You delved into anime stuff a lot more, which paid a lot of you, since your nieces are getting into them. That's awesome. Anything over 26 episodes in a season is too much for you? Yeah, I agree. That's sort of my limit. And if the entire anime is more than 40 episodes, or if it's got multiple seasons and each season has like 20 plus episodes, I'm like, nah. I'll watch the start of it. I'll try and get into it, but it doesn't happen. But that's good that you're able to use it now because your nieces are into it. At least in a season, a few episodes, you can find the arcs. Yeah. When I was in high school, we were watching, I think it was Naruto as it was coming out, and one of my friends was like way up to date on it, and I was only just getting into it, and they're like, okay, here's the list of how you watch it. So you watch these chunk of 20 episodes, and then you skip the next 2 episodes, and then you watch just the 10-minute period in this one episode, and then you skip the next 5 episodes, and then you watch the next 10 episodes. So they were giving me a full list of like how to watch. I'm pretty sure it was Naruto, and they were like, here's the series without the filler. I ended up watching the whole thing because I was just like, well, fuck it. If I'm gonna watch it, I might as well watch it properly. But after a little while, I was like, yeah, I probably should have just watched it the way they said to, because most of this is filler, and I don't actually care about it. There was like whole episodes where I was like, I could have not watched this. Like, that was a waste of 25 minutes. You really hate filler episodes? Yeah, filler episodes are awful. There is my Instagram, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to go and check that out. My Drawtober and my Tattober stuff is up there, if you are keen to check any of that out. I will also be putting some more interesting things up there shortly. And by shortly, I mean like in the next few weeks, because I still need to work on some stuff. I've got some things waiting in the wings. Yeah, we don't have anything ready here, so I catch up, yeah. Pretty much. Yeah, it's rough. Do I want to use the same ones they've used? I don't think I do. I think I want to put in a different style. Speaking of other interesting things that are happening at the moment, the Wheel of Time series has just started on Amazon Prime, which is not bad. It's pretty good. I tried to get into the book series and just could not. I have dyslexia, so it's a pain in the hole for me to read anything, really. But that series is going pretty well. I'm enjoying it. If anybody out there in Streamland has recommendations, feel free to jump in and drop them in the chat. So we're just putting in our little lanterns now. And make sure to get the perspective right here. Not to overclog an area, but still to make sure that there is enough that you get a sense of what this is supposed to look like. Alright, that's looking pretty good. Alright, let's mess it up with some water. Muggy up there, eh? It's not been too bad here today. It rained a little on and off today, so it's been actually quite nice. Not too hot, not too cool, just nice middle ground today. Which is good, that's what we like. Especially during, well, it's not quite Australian summer yet, but getting there, getting there. Yeah, I remember the good old days of an Australian summer. Fucking ridiculously humid. 45 degrees. Dying. Begging for it to rain. Thunderstorm on the way. And then the thunderstorm lasts all of 5 minutes. There is a brief reprieve from the humidity, and then it goes back, goes back to being hot and humid. The on-off rain here just to be blah. Yeah. As long as you're not outside, I don't mind on. Even then, you know, I like rain. I like being out in the rain. But I always feel like on and off rain, just to keep it cool, is always kind of nicer than it just being fucking crazy hot. Alright, how's that look? It's not too bad. We're getting a sense of it. Just get rid of some of that water because we don't actually need that much. One of these days, I'm gonna have to do a stream that's that isn't recorded, because all of my streams are recorded so that they can go on the VOD for Twitch, and so that they can go onto YouTube. Which means that I have to be careful about copyright of music and stuff. But if I didn't have to worry about that, I could just play whatever music I wanted rather than having to play all this epidemic sound stuff. One of these days I'm going to have to just do a stream which is just my regular music. So that you can all see how very different it is to the stuff that I... not very different, I guess, but like pretty different to the stuff I play on stream. There is a little bit of electro swing, but it is mostly rock and like alternative rock. With a little bit of pop in there occasionally, and a lot of like metal and Viking stuff, things like that. Then we can be silly and sing along to shit. I think that would be good. Because I do enjoy this like jazzy stuff. It's quite relaxing. Some of it's a bit boppy, which is fun. But it's sort of not really the kind of stuff I usually listen to. So it is interesting that this is what most of my stream music is. That's looking pretty good. Having looked away from this now and coming back to it, I am enjoying this one. I think this turned out really well. This sort of 2-bottle set. This needs some more definition. I'm probably just going to wait for it to dry, I think, before I start putting more ink over the top. But I need to go over quite a few bits here, because it's all... It basically, my values are too low, and I need to add some definition back into it. Which I think I can do a little bit of now. I'm just gonna have to be careful if there's an area that has, if it's waterlogged, because I'm using watercolor paper. It holds the water for a little while, and if it stays waterlogged, then I'll basically just make more of these like bleeded areas, bled areas, which will just continue to ruin. All look good to you? Thanks, Kaiju. Appreciate it. Well, that's what we want. We want it to be good for our audience. We make this bit at the bottom a little darker, so we'll add a little bit more ink into here, just so that we've got a bit more definition between the foreground and the background. And then we'll go in and clean up those mountains a little, I think. Oh, that was too much water. Done it again. There we go. I had a friend who used to, an artist friend who used to absolutely hate when people would watch them draw or paint. And they used to say that if you watched a magician creating the trick, it would ruin the magic of when the trick was finished, when the illusion was finished. And I kind of understood what they were saying with it. Like, if you spend too much time sort of seeing the work progress, that you potentially lose some of the amazement of some of the intricacies of it. But I do think that audiences appreciate more being able to see the effort that goes into making something and how it gets from where it is to where it is in the end, kind of thing. But they were pretty adamant that that wasn't the case. So, each to their own, I guess, is sort of the idea. I don't think I'm gonna get that luxury anyway, of not showing people the process, because my intention is to go into tattooing, which means the person's gonna be there watching me do it. Even if they don't watch me, they'll still sort of see the process unfolding, sort of over the course of the hours it takes to lay down a tattoo, especially a very good tattoo. So sort of have to just make peace with the idea that people are going to watch it, which is a good thing I'm streaming then. Or you could be like, this is a thousand times better than your Stickman. Yeah, I think realistically that's what most people are like. Even someone who is very talented. Will recognize the skill or the technique that's being used and appreciate it on its value for what's being done. I think there are very few people who sort of look at it and be like, oh well, now I know how it's done, that's not as good, kind of thing. I think that's very much a rarity and sort of a weird way of looking at things. But also, it's all just about practice. Anybody can become a great artist if they want to put the time in to work at it and get better. So Zeus, if you wanted to, you could make some premium stickman art if you just stuck it out and did more of it. But it is effort. That's the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, I can't be an artist. Everybody can be an artist. That's a silly statement. The difficult thing, or the thing that actually stops people from being artists, is that it's an investment. It takes time, it takes effort, and you've got to keep at it. It could be your lazy fork. Yes, that's the key. So you can't be lazy. You gotta keep doing it. And that's where most people fall down. Is they're like, oh, I'm no good at it. Well, have you tried? Not really. Okay, well then, you're not no good at it. You just haven't given it a chance. Which is absolutely not a judgment on anybody. Like, as someone who has spent many years practicing and getting better at art, and spending the time required to do so, went to university to do it. I recognize the investment of time required, and many people do not have that much time to invest in what would be a hobby for most people. It's totally fair. Like, people have lives, people have jobs, people have things that they're interested in, other hobbies. You can't just be drawing constantly, like I do. I think I'm specifically built for it, though. I have this weird thing. I've talked about it a few times on stream before, but I have this weird thing where I get depressed if I don't make art. So if I go 2 weeks, approximately 2 weeks, without making anything, without drawing a picture, or making a painting, or, you know, making a sculpture or something, I get properly depressed. Like, I start getting really depressed, I get anxious, I start snapping at people, I can get aggressive, or I can get moody or mopey, and then I'll make an artwork and suddenly I'm better again. It's really weird. But, I don't know, that's just who I am as a person. It's lucky I found my thing, to be honest. It's lucky I actually figured out what it was that drives me, because otherwise that would have been a bit of a worry. We've been streaming for 2 hours now. We only got 2 artworks done, which is play several games to keep your touch. Yeah. Squad Fortnite games. Is that like a PUBG type scenario in Fortnite? The like team deathmatch thing, rather than being free for all, it's groups. I don't know. I haven't played a whole lot of the Fortnite-y type, PUBG type games. First person shooters are okay for me. You, your brother, and the kids, or 3 of the kids and 1 of you. Okay. Cool. Sounds good. I'm gonna just quickly have a look at who is streaming at the moment. Because if there's someone worth streaming. Charles is on, Mao is on. James is on. We could raid James again. That might be fun. Mao is doing commissions. Yeah, 4 players in a team, 100 player matches. Okay, yeah. So it's the PUBG type thing. Cool. I would play that. Hey, speaking of artists, there are a whole bunch of awesome artists. Mao is on the list, James is on the list, Charles is on the list. Alright, let's have a look. What James is doing, what Mao is doing. And there's the Discord. Check out the Discord if you're not already on it. Friends. Alright, I think we raid into Mao. We did James yesterday. And Mal's good fun. We like Mal. We'll raid James another time. First-person shooters is one of your main games with Counter-Strike, but like Diablo 2, StarCraft 2, all different styles. I love StarCraft. The StarCraft series is amazing. It's one of my favorites. I like a whole bunch of different games, but strategy type and RTS. Oh, RTSs and then like turn-based strategy games are kind of more my jam. And then I like the RPG style adventure-y type games, but I'm very picky about those more so. I do like first-person shooters, but I'm not very good at them, so I prefer very specific type of first-person shooters. I was a fan of Skyrim. That's not really a first-person shooter, it's more of an RPG adventure, but I really liked Borderlands. Was a great series, first-person shooter. I did like the early Counter-Strike, like the original Counter-Strike. 1.5, 1.6, before they turned it into all this crazy stuff. Civ 5? 2,000 hours or something? Yeah, just a few hours. Yeah. I like Civ. Civ is good. A few of those ones are pretty good. A lot of the Paradox games are quite good. I like those. Anyway, we're going to raid out to Mal. So, thank you, Zeus, for joining us. Thank you, everybody else, for joining us. Thank you for a wonderful stream. We'll be back tomorrow with some Valheim, with all the friends. And then this weekend, I'm pretty sure we're out busy doing things. So, next stream probably won't be till Tuesday. After tomorrow's stream first, and then see how we go. Used to do a lot of LAN comps, CS 1.3 to 1.5 and 1.6 in the early days. 100 out of 10 art, thank you. Yeah, we used to do a lot of LAN comps. We used to do there's a few stories that have been on the streams about the shit bucket and some of the ridiculous LAN parties and LAN comps that happened. We might talk about those again another time. We'll have a LAN based discussion. But yes, thank you so much for joining. We're going to jump. Loving the bottled environment. Thank you, Cog. Just in time for us to raid out a bottled Cog. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. We will catch you next time. You're all awesome.